Let's capture this together! A new world, a new magic, and a destiny they share.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Naruto Went to Hong Kong and Meet Cardcaptor Sakura movie. Before we start, please go support Lit493 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken characters' gender, but of course Naruto is a male. Our group of friends Sakura, Tomoyo, Naruto, and Naruko, along with Toya and Yukito, decide to embark on a well-deserved vacation in Hong Kong. Little do they know, something awaits them there. What could it be? Find out here in Cardcaptor Sakura x Naruto 10 Trip to Hong Kong. Cardcaptor Sakura x Naruto 10 Trip to Hong Kong. It was night and a chase was taking place at Tomoda Elementary School. Someone could be seen flying through the bushes and trees. That someone was Sakura Kinomoto, who was wearing a strange outfit. Putting that aside, Sakura was using a staff, her walking stick, which was helping her fly, but she wasn't alone. Beside her was Kerberos, also known as Kiro, the guardian of the cloak cards, and right behind the staff, her friend Naruto Otsutsuki. But you might be wondering, why was the chase taking place? Easy. They had found a cloak card at the school. Right then, a barrage of arrows began to rain down on them. Naruto. Watch out, Sakura. The girl turns towards the sky, noticing as arrows begin to fall on both of them. Elsewhere. In a safe place were a gray-haired girl, a black-haired girl, and a red-haired blonde girl. They were Tomoyo Tadauji, Miling Lee, and Naruko Otsutsuki. They were there for 3 reasons. First, because Tomoyo was recording. Second, because Miling wouldn't be able to stop the cloak card. And last, because Naruko had tried to buy Sakura and Naruko time to seal the card but had been slightly injured. They were observing the situation when they were surprised and frightened by the rain of arrows. Naruko. Watch out, guys. In pursuit. Sakura was terrified and began dodging the arrows while screaming. Meanwhile, Naruto watched, gripping his staff and focusing his gaze on his bracelet. That bracelet was the Omnitrix. This device allowed him to store and transform into various alien life forms. But that wasn't relevant. At that moment, he decided to press the button, which made the dial rise and then display a silhouette. Trying to hold on, Naruto began to turn the dial, searching for the silhouette he was looking for, and finally found it. Once it's ready, she presses the dial to generate a green light. When the green light fades, Sakura turns to where Naruto was, finding only a small creature. That confused Sakura, who was still trying to dodge the arrows. Sakura. Why did you turn into Buzzshock? Buzzshock? You'll see. Buzzshock then focuses his gaze on the arrows, generating electricity and launching it, causing the arrows to explode. Seeing this, the card generates even more arrows, which it then launches and multiplies. Upon seeing this, Sakura pulls out a kunai, which Naruto had given her. Sakura. Naruto, charge your electricity into the kunai I'm about to throw. I'll use that jutsu you taught me. Buzzshock. Okay. But that said, Sakura throws the kunai to perform a sequence of hand seals. Sakura. Kunai clone jutsu. The kunai that was thrown began to multiply. Seeing this, Buzzshock charged electricity into the kunai, causing both weapons to explode upon contact with the card's arrows. They managed to take partial cover, but the arrows still grazed or passed by Sakura and Buzzshock. Upon leaving the safe spot, they noticed the card had them in its sights with a bow and arrow, ready to launch the projectile. The entire chase was observed by a brown-haired boy in a tree. That boy was Sharon Lee, who, upon seeing the scene, drew yellow 1. Sharon. God of Thunder, answer my call. The beam of electricity strikes the arrow, causing it to disappear or be destroyed. Seeing this, Sakura deactivates her staff's flight mode, revealing a card called the Fly, and descends to the ground with Buzzshock. Turning around, they see Sharon still in the tree. Sakura. Thank you very much, Lee. Sharon. Be more careful. With that, they regained their positions upon seeing how the card had descended, revealing its true form. The card, upon seeing them, points its bow at the group of children and alien. Kiro. It's time. Sakura. Yes. With that, Sakura takes out a card, which was the Windy, to throw it, leaving it suspended in the air while it spun. Sakura. Cloak card, become Chains of Justice, strikes the card with the tip of her staff the Windy. But that said, the Windy card is drawn, which attacks the other card by distracting it. Using this, Sakura draws another card to use. Sakura. The jump. With that, something resembling wings appears on her shoes, she grabs Buzzshock and leaps high into the air. Once at a safe distance, Sakura throws Buzzshock, who is now charged with electricity. Upon reaching the card, Buzzshock grabs onto it and begins releasing the accumulated electricity, damaging the card. Having damaged the card, Buzzshock surrounds himself with electricity and escapes, as Sakura is ready. Sakura. Return to the humble form you deserve, hits an invisible card cloak card. But the sealing of the card began as Buzzshock appeared next to Sakura. Once the sealing was complete, the card fell right into Buzzshock's hands, who was impressed, as were the others. Buzzshock? Why me? Sakura. I don't know, it seems that spending a lot of time with the cards made you able to use them. Buzzshock transforms into Naruto and then hands the letter to Sakura. Naruto. You should keep it, Sakura. I don't think I'd be able to use it. Sakura. Smiles thank you. Naruto returned her smile with a slight blush as Sakura took the card. But Sharon, Tomoyo, Naruko and Myling. They watched the scene with Tomoyo helping Naruko get up, but Myling watched it with a pout. Myling. Pouting just a little more and Sharon would have gotten the card. Tomoyo. Recording you're so adorable, Sakura. Naruko. Watching the scene, she's the one. But Naruto and Sakura. They were still looking at the letter when Kiro arrived. Kiro. Well done Sakura, just like you, well done Naruto, I knew you would get it Sakura Cardcaptor and Naruto 10. Naruto chuckled softly upon hearing his nickname. Sakura, on the other hand, simply offered a small smile of gratitude to Kiro. At the Kinomoto house. It was still night and raining, and in the Kinomoto house, more specifically in Sakura's room, she was asleep. Suddenly, a light appeared. The light came from a book. This book was the Clo Cards. The brightness wasn't enough to wake someone up, but to the experts it was worrying. Dark place. There was immense darkness when a faint light appeared. It wasn't very bright, but it was something. Suddenly, they heard and saw drops of water falling to the ground. Upon closer inspection, they saw that the ground was actually water. Then, even as the drops continued to fall, destroyed concrete pillars and others with scratches began to appear. In the middle of all this was a girl with her eyes closed. As they got a little closer, they saw that this girl was Sakura Kinomoto. Wait. Sakura. What was she doing there? The questions couldn't continue because Sakura opened her eyes to see where she was. Sakura. Where am I? But he looks down, noticing his reflection and realizing that it was water beneath his feet. Even as he stares at his reflection, he notices another reflection appear. As he watches this reflection, he begins to see it pass through the water itself. Sakura. It's like Naruto's Hadouken. Indeed, what emerged were bandages, but these bandages did something surprising. They began to bind Sakura, preventing her from moving. But something even more surprising was that Sakura didn't do anything to break free or try to escape. The bandages pulled her down, submerging her in the water. Even then, Sakura didn't do anything, not even swim or anything like that. Sakura. I'm not drowning. But he watches as the bandages unwind, giving him mobility again. Water is something that must flow. But Sakura begins to dive deeper while looking up. Water is something that must flow. Sakura continued to descend without making any movement while still looking upwards. The next day. Sakura could be seen in her room, still asleep in her bed, when she turned to the other side, letting the sun's rays fall on her face and wake her up. Once awake, she got up and sat on her bed, rubbing her eyes. Sakura. Drowsy a dream? But she focuses her gaze on her desk where she sees Kiro sleeping in his room, which is in one of the drawers. That makes her smile. At Tomoda Primary School. Something terrifying was happening in Sakura's classroom, something that made the students nervous, that kind of moment that makes everyone, even those who don't believe, start praying to a saint. That's right. What was taking place was the terrifying delivery of grades. That's right, it was report card day, and Sakura was right there watching them hand out the grades. When she turned to look at her friends, she saw that both Naruto and Naruko were nervous. Sakura knew beforehand that they were both very good students, but she didn't blame them. She knew that in Konoha, grades were altered simply out of senseless hatred, but even so, she knew that, despite no longer living in that village, they were nervous that they might have done poorly. Sakura. Everything will be alright, Naruto and Naruko. They both look at her and smile in thanks. Just then, Sakura is called to get her grades. Upon receiving them and returning, she glances at them briefly and then sighs. Tomoyo. How have you been? Sakura. Not too bad. I thought it was going to be worse, but it wasn't. Tomoyo. That's good. Terada. Naruko Otsutsuki and Naruto Otsutsuki. Upon hearing their names called, the two siblings went to Professor Terada to get their grades. Once they had them, they returned to their friends to check them. When they saw them, they gave each other a high five. This made Sakura realize they had all passed, which made her happy. With that in mind and feeling much more relieved, the grade distribution continued, but Sakura noticed something. Glancing behind her, she saw Sharon looking nervous, no, very nervous. Sakura. Lee, are you worried about your grades too? Sharon. Lying not at all. Don't worry, I'm here with you. Looking out of the corner of her eye, she noticed that it was Myling who had said that to her. Myling. I understand, you're afraid to show your mom your grades. Sharon. Shut up. Sakura. Seeing Tomoyo arrive, how have you been, Tomoyo? Tomoyo. Sitting down, same as the first term. Sakura. That means very well, right? Tomoyo nods with a smile. Dorada. Sharon Lee and Myling Lee. Upon hearing their names called, they both stand up, Myling excited and Sharon nervous. They then walk off, Myling cheerful, but Sharon looking like a zombie. Naruto. Myling seems very confident in her work. Naruto. I'll say that again, little sister. Upon hearing that, Naruto pouts. Then they turn their attention back to the front, surprised by a scream from Myling. Myling. Why didn't I get perfect grades? Dorada. You just arrived in Japan and you need to improve your Japanese. This clearly discouraged Myling, who went to sit next to Sharon. Upon arriving, Myling sat down, still feeling down, while Sharon was nervous. Still nervous, Sharon opened his report card to start looking at his grades, watched by Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko. Sharon continued looking when he let out a sigh of relief. Sharon. Relieved, what a relief, I won't have to hide them. He notices someone staring at him. Turning around, he sees Sakura looking at his grades, while Naruto and Naruko watch him with slightly mocking smiles. Seeing this, Sharon hides his grades, leaving Sakura somewhat flustered and the Otsutsuki twins barely able to contain their laughter. Time skip. Classes had ended and a group was seen walking by. This group consisted of Sakura, Tomoyo, Naruto, and Naruko. They were all talking about what had happened at school. Sakura. You're good at almost everything, Tomoyo. Tomoyo. It's not that big of a deal. Naruto. I just felt like I was about to call on some god to help me with this. Naruto. Me too. The quartet laughed at that, since they really were very nervous about receiving their report cards. Still chatting, they arrived at Miss Maki's shop. Once inside, they continued talking while browsing everything, well, almost everything. This was because Naruko was looking for thread this time. Why? She wanted to go a step further and make herself a yellow tie with the Otsutsuki symbol. They continued like this until they paid, where Naruko bought fabric and thread, Sakura book, Tomoyo nothing, and Naruto just a new notebook. Maki. To Sakura, are you going to use it for the winter homework? Sakura. Yes. Maki. Ah. Just a moment. With that, he leaves and then returns with a box. Maki. Surprise, you can have one. That confused the group. Maki. Give it a try, it's a special year-end lottery organized in the business district. The first prize is a trip to Hong Kong. But that said, he brings the box closer to the children. Tomoyo. Good luck, Sakura. Naruko. Come on, brother, cheer up. Sakura and Naruto look at each other to feel and insert their hands at the same time. Maki. Some from her school have tried, but they all got stuck with the smallest ones. Meanwhile, Sakura and Naruto were still searching for the grand prize when they both felt a ball. Reaching out, they realized they had a ball in their hands. Seeing this, Maki set the box aside. Maki. What color did they get? Both Sakura and Naruto see her showing the ball. Sakura. Smiling, I think we got the small prize. When Maki saw the ball, she noticed a sign next to it with information about the prizes. Upon reviewing it, she and the others were surprised. Maki. The Great. Tomoyo. Great. Sakura. Great. Naruto. PR. Naruko. Pre. The part of the poster that said they won had written trip for 6 people to Hong Kong. Time skip. Now Sakura, along with Naruto and Naruko, were in the Kinomoto house, but we'll focus on Sakura's room. Sakura and Kiro were there. Kiro had overheard what Sakura said. Kiro. The grand prize. Sakura. Showing the tickets, look. Kiro. It's incredible. Sees the tickets, a trip abroad, huh? Sees Sakura, well, since it's winter break, it's the perfect time. Sakura. Of course, this will be my first trip abroad. Kiro. Looking at the destination, oh, I see, it's to Hong Kong. What memories? Sakura. Curious, have you ever been to Hong Kong, Kiro? Kiro. Yes, I was there once with Chloe. Sakura. Going to her desk, so the Chloe cards were already in Hong Kong. Kiro. Yes, the Chloe cards were created by the magician Chloe Reed, after all. Sakura was fascinated by what she heard. Sakura. I wonder what Hong Kong is like. Kiro. Leave that to me, I'll show you the best places. Sakura. Okay. With that, he throws himself to the edge of the bed, causing Kiro to fall onto the mattress. Kiro. Wait a moment. Sakura looks at him with doubt. Sakura. What's wrong? Kiro. Wasn't your father going on a training trip this winter? Sakura. Well, now that you mention it. That discourages them both. In the dining room. A little while had passed, and now everyone was eating with Sakura, asking her father about his trip. Fujitaka. You can go. Naruto. Are you sure about that, Mr. Fujitaka? Fujitaka. That's right. After all, you guys won the grand prize. I can't go, but if Toya goes with you, everything will be fine. Upon hearing that, Sakura turns to look at Toya. Sakura. But brother, what about your part-time job? Toya was eating quietly, then finished her bite and spoke. Toya. Shows 5 fingers, you'll cover me 5 times. Sakura just makes a chibi face when she hears that, then changes. Sakura. So you're coming. Fujitaka. Yes, Tomoyo is going. What do you think about young Yukito going in my place? Toya. I think he would like it, he told me he didn't have any special plans. Sakura smiles when she hears that, her eyes sparkling. Sakura. That's great. Time skip. We're now at the airport and in one section, Sakura, Tomoyo, Naruto, and Naruko can be seen admiring the airplanes, while Toya and Yukito follow behind them. While the children admire the view, Tomoyo is busy filming her friends. Suddenly, the trio senses something. When they turn around, they see that it's Tomoyo filming them. Sakura. Naruto. Embarrassed you really brought your camera? Tomoyo. Of course. It'll be called Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko's home. A bead of sweat trickled down the faces of all 3 of them when they heard that. They turned to look away, since someone was speaking to them. Toya. Next to Yukito, it's time to go. Sakura. Tomoyo. Naruto. Naruko. We're coming. With that, they joined the duo so that all 6 of them could begin walking to their plane. They chatted a bit as they walked. Toya. Sakura, you must take off your shoes before boarding the plane. Sakura. Really? Toya simply nodded. Upon reaching the airplane entrance, everyone boarded and Sakura was taking off her shoes when the flight attendant stopped her. Flight attendant. Miss, you can keep them on. This makes Sakura blush with embarrassment and she puts on her shoes, then gets angry. Upon entering, she sees her brother. Sakura. Angry Toya. Toya just gave a mocking smile as Sakura approached with a pout. Then she heard a noise and a voice. Turning to see where it came from, she saw it was Kiro, who had peeked out of the bag the girl was carrying. Kiro. Hey, Sakura, haven't we arrived yet? Kiro's words were starting to frighten Sakura, drawing everyone's attention. Fortunately, Sakura was saved by Naruto, who saw this and got up to take her hand and run to a seat. Once there, Sakura sat by the window with Naruto beside her. As they sat, Sakura looked at her bag, where Kiro was still sticking out. Sakura. Stay still. Kiro. But. Sakura, Naruto. Upon hearing the voice, Sakura hides Kiro and turns around to see Yukito. Yukito. Thanks to both of you for inviting me, this is my first trip, I'm sure there will be lots of fun things, huh? Naruto. Sakura. Yes. But that said, they settle into their seats. Once everyone is settled, the plane takes off. Time skip. Now the group of 4 children could be seen entering a room opened by a bellboy. Buttons. Enjoy your stay. The 4 of them entered the room, admiring the place. At one point, Sakura threw down her jacket, hat, and bag. As the bag fell, Kiro left while the windows were being opened. Kiro. Sakura. Upon hearing her name, Sakura turns around to see Kiro still crawling inside her bag. Seeing this, Sakura panics and rushes to Kiro's aid. Sakura. I'm sorry. Kiro. You've forgotten about me, haven't you? Sakura just laughed a little nervously. Kiro. Annoyed as if you came alone. Kiro comes out of the bag to perch on a piece of furniture. Kiro. Well, ever since I've been in Hong Kong I've been feeling homesick so I forgive you this time. Sakura and Naruto smiled nervously upon hearing that. With that said, Kiro turned to look out the window at the city. Kiro? Where? Sakura and Naruto fell backwards upon hearing that. Tomoyo. This is Hong Kong. Kiro. This is Hong Kong. Time skip. Now everyone was seen traveling on a ship enjoying the air, those who enjoyed it the most were Sakura, Naruto and Naruko, the first because it was her first time and the other 2 because of their old life. Sakura. Hong Kong Island is really small, isn't it? Naruto. Yeah. Naruko. Let's enjoy this while we're still up here for about 5 minutes. Toya and Yukito were behind them, watching over them. Toya. If you lean out too far, a shark will jump out and eat you. Sakura. Sees him huh? There are sharks here. Toya. Shows her guidebook, the tourist guidebook says so. Sakura looks at the water and then sees a seagull making a noise, attracting Toya's attention. Toya. A shark. The seagull climbs a little higher, making Sakura marvel at what she saw. Sakura. Mrs. Seagull. Mrs. Seagull. Mrs. Seagull. Mrs. Seagull. That made his friends laugh. Yukito. Sakura, you woke up with a lot of energy today. Sakura. Nervously I like ships. Yukito. Me too. Meanwhile, the scene was being watched and recorded by Tomoyo. Tomoyo. Oh, Sakura is so happy. Hiro. Hidden in Tomoyo's hair. Hey, record me later. Tomoyo. Of course. I'm Skip. Now our group was walking through the streets of Hong Kong, occasionally asking for directions. Toya and Yukito were on one side, while the children were on the other, eating ice cream. Hiro. In Sakura's bag this hasn't changed much. Naruto. Hiro, it's been a long time since you were here, hasn't it? Hiro. Becomes serious but concentrates. The spiritual essence hasn't changed, there's still a malevolent essence, it's a nostalgia I didn't feel in Japan, and… The four of them were so engrossed that when they could no longer hear anything, they snapped out of their trance, only to see Hiro eating what was left of Sakura's ice cream. Hiro. Eating the food is so good. Sakura. Hiro. Hiro finishes eating what he had in his mouth while Naruto gives his to Sakura. Naruto. Is there something going on? Hiro. Looks at Sakura. Sakura, with her terrible luck in competitions, wins the grand prize. Sakura. Annoyed. What did you say? Hiro. Well, listen, Chloe Reed said that things in the world aren't mere coincidences, Sakura. I just think there's some connection to the grand prize you won. That's right. Well, I'm enjoying Hong Kong. How nice. Hiro just laughs at that, leaving the group of children stunned. Elsewhere. The dimly lit area was visible, with broken pillars jutting out of the water. Sakura stood in the very center of it. Sakura. Again. Sakura looks down and then up, noticing two birds. Seeing them, she runs towards them. When she arrives, she stares at the place, then senses something. Turning around, she sees a silhouette floating in front of her, watching her. Sakura. Who? She saw the silhouette as it held some bandages up to her. Seeing this, Sakura stepped back a little, but stopped when she saw the bandages come to a halt. Seeing this, Sakura stared as she reached for the bandages. Sakura was just about to take one when… In the hotel room. Sakura was lying down, still asleep, when suddenly she reached out as if to grab something. Feeling nothing, she opened her eyes and looked at her hand, noticing it was empty. She sat up in bed, remembering something. Sakura. That dream again. Thinks who could it be? I'm Skip. Now everyone was seen in a restaurant watching Yukito with several boxes of food. Yukito. One of those, and four of those, and another four of those too, and one of this, and one of that, all of that for now. Receives the ticket. Thank you. Well, shall we start eating? Sakura. Naruto Tomoyo. Nervous and with a drop of sweat. Why yes. Sakura. To Tomoyo and Naruto. Tomoyo. Naruto, do you want to share? The women nodded as Sakura took one of the boxes, but when she removed it, she saw that Kiro was eating the contents of the one underneath. Upon being discovered, Kiro looked at her. Sakura. Kiro. Upon realizing this, Sakura becomes nervous and covers her mouth while her friends nervously watch the situation. Toya. Kiro. Sakura covers the box. Sakura. Nervously. I'd better take another one. Toya. What's wrong? Was there a frog or something? Sakura. Nervously. No, nothing. So, which one do you want? Toya. I want the one you took. Sakura gets nervous next to Naruto, who was sitting beside her. Naruto. Nervous. Don't you prefer another one? You don't care which one, right? Toya. Points to the box. I want that one. Sakura. But. Toya. I. Just. Want. That. One. Both of them, still nervous, placed their hands on the box, making their friend sister nervous as well. Toya just watched. Still nervous, both children mustered the courage to lift the box, revealing that the one underneath was empty. Seeing this, both children relaxed. Toya. Hurry up and give it to me. Sakura. Sure. Naruto removes his hand so Sakura can pass the box to Toya, revealing that Kiro was right underneath it. Seeing this, Sakura and her friends become even more nervous. Sakura. Quickly moving the box away. Oh, it looks like it has something in it after all. To her friends. Look. Doesn't it look good? Naruto Tomoyo. Why, you're right. Meanwhile, Toya watched this with annoyance. Sakura. Sadly, forgive me, brother. Just then, Kiro was about to eat the contents of the box, but Naruto caught him and hit him. Toya just sighed and then pulled out his guidebook. Toya. After we eat, we'll go to Bird Street. Sakura. Bird Street. Yukito. It's where there are lots of birds. Sakura was interested in that. I'm Skip. Now the group could be seen walking along Bird Street admiring the place. Sakura. Amazing. There are so many cages. Yukito. People in Hong Kong love birds. They walk around with their birds and are very proud of them. Naruto. Is that true? In the distance, Tomoyo could be seen filming the journey. Then Kiro popped out of her hair. Kiro. So this is Bird Street. Tomoyo. Did you already know about this? Kiro. This area hasn't changed, it's still the same as before. At that moment, Tomoyo approaches to continue filming. Later, she encounters Sakura watching some birds perched on Naruto's finger. Sakura. How cute. As she got closer, she started recording them. They were very focused when Sakura and Naruto sensed something. This was noticed by Tomoyo, who approached them. Tomoyo. Is something wrong? Sakura. Something like something was watching me. Naruto. I felt that too. Naruto told me the same thing this morning. Then they see the birds start making warning noises. Just then, Kiro pops out of Tomoyo's hair. Kiro. I definitely sense a strange presence here. Kurama. Careful, pup, something's not right. Naruto. Yes, dad. Sakura. Could it be a cloak card in Hong Kong? Kiro. No, this is a strange presence, it's more like evil. Naruto. This presence makes dad and mom nervous. Naruto. Arriving as does Shimei. Well, they're there. Upon hearing the voice, they turned around to see that it was Yukito, who was accompanied by Toya. Toya. Looking at the group, they must have escaped. The group looks up, watching two birds with two bells around their necks. Sakura. Those birds. Upon being discovered, the birds begin to fly, pursued by Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko. Tomoyo. Sakura, Naruto, Naruko. Kiro. Let them go. Toya. Where did Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko go? Kiro. Run. Tomoyo. Sees the duo will be right back. But that, he runs after his friends. In pursuit. Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko were seen running while chasing the birds. At one point, they lost sight of them, causing them to stop. They then ran into an alley as Sakura took out her key and Naruto activated the Omnitrix. Sakura. Free yourself. With that, Sakura's key becomes a staff while Naruto transforms into Wildmut. Sakura. The jump. With that, Sakura activates the card's ability within her, leaping forward, followed by Wildmut, who was carrying Naruko on his back. They begin jumping across buildings and cables until they reach a very high place. Once high up, Sakura manages to spot the birds. Sakura. There they are. They fall and jump back over the buildings. When they reach the spot, they realize they were in a deserted place. Sakura. Scared. What is this feeling? With that, she begins searching alongside Wildmut and Naruko until they sense something. Turning around, they realize the sensation is coming from an old well. Seeing the well, they begin to approach, Sakura still feeling afraid. Upon reaching the well, they see it only contains water, so Sakura turns away while Wildmut moves back and Naruko, having gotten off Wildmut, continues searching on foot. Suddenly, some bands begin to emerge from the well. Sakura had seen them out of the corner of her eye, and upon seeing them, she is surprised and frightened, then turns around, even more surprised by the sight. She feels dizzy and then begins to see the water in the well as if in a trance. Sakura climbs onto the edge of the well, looking at the water in which a silhouette appears. She is about to fall when she is pulled back. Opening her eyes, she sees that she is in Naruto's arms with Naruko and Sharon behind him. Sakura. Boy sees Sharon. What are you doing here, Lee? She tries to get up but ends up falling into the water, not before taking Naruto with her, with Sakura below and Naruto above, looking at each other. With Tomoyo. She was walking down Bird Street, looking all around. Tomoyo. I wonder where Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko have gone. She continued searching until someone bumped into her back, causing the person to fall. Feeling this, Tomoyo turned to look at the person. Tomoyo. I'm sorry, are you okay? That's when he realizes that the person was smiling. Smiling. I'm fine, but notices something Japanese. Tomoyo. Extending her hand to Miling. Hello. Miling. Dadaoji. What are you doing here in Hong Kong? With that, he gets up thanks to Tomoyo's help. Tomoyo. Sakura and Naruto won first prize in a lottery, and I came with them. Kiro. Coming out of Tomoyo's bag. Hey, brat. Miling. Seeing Kiro. Well, if it isn't the plushie with you. Kiro. Annoyed. What? Miling. Have you already finished quarantine? Kiro. Annoyed. Say that again if you dare. Miling simply puts Kiro in the bag and closes it without letting him defend himself. After that, Miling turns her gaze to Tomoyo. Miling. By the way, have you seen Sharon? A minute ago he said he sensed a strange presence or something and ran off. Tomoyo. I'm looking for the boys. Two boys. When Miling turns around, she sees the group accompanied by Sharon. Miling. Sharon. With that, both girls get closer to the group of four. Sakura. Tomoyo. Tomoyo. What happened? Are you hurt? Sakura. We're fine. Miling. Hugging Sharon. Sharon, where did you go? Sakura, Naruto, Naruko. When they turn around, they see Toya and Yukito running towards them. When they arrive, they see Toya frowning. Toya. Where did you three go? Sakura. We're sorry. We. Naruto. We saw some birds and got curious. At that moment, Yukito notices Myling and Sharon having an argument. Yukito. Hello. Sharon. Hello. Myling. Hugging Sharon's arm hello. Sharon manages to separate, leaving Myling somewhat annoyed. Tomoyo. But you have to change, your clothes are wet. Sakura and Naruto nod as the girl sneezes from the cold. Time skip. Now the group of children were in a room in the Lee house trying on Chinese clothes. Tomoyo. Recording Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko, I can't believe my luck getting to record them dressed in Chinese clothes. Naruto. You look great in Chinese clothes too, Tomoyo. Tomoyo. Oh, thank you very much. Then they hear shouts. Turning around, they see 4 girls approaching them. Seeing them approach so suddenly, the 4 of them huddle together, trying to protect each other. Add Naruto and Naruko. Hugging each of the 4 welcome. You're all so handsome. Your clothes look great on you. Very nice. You're so cute. Aren't you? You're so handsome. Tomoyo. Who could they be? Naruto. No idea. Then they saw Toya and Yukito arriving, arguing about why they had also changed their clothes. This, of course, caught the attention of the 4 strangers. They're not bad either. Not bad at all. Not at all. Not at all. But that, the 4 women separated from the children to take a closer look at the 2 teenagers who were talking about what had happened that morning. Suddenly, they felt hands. Looking down, they realized the strangers were watching and caressing them. Toya. What's wrong? Yukito. Who knows? But the group of children. They were watching the interaction when Sharon and Myling arrived. Sharon then placed something on a small table. Myling. I'll help you, Sharon. But he didn't answer because he was a little tired. Sakura. Lee, are these girls? Myling. They're her sisters. Naruko. All 4 of them. Sharon. Sitting down on a piece of furniture yes. This surprised Sakura, while Naruto and Naruko watched, somewhat nervously. Naruto. If they knew how many siblings we have in Konoha, their jaws would drop. Tomoyo. You have some very cheerful sisters. Kiro. From Sakura's backpack what strange sisters you have. Sakura, Kiro, sees Sharon sorry Lee. But he didn't answer, as he was asleep. Just then, the door opened, startling Sharon awake. When the door opened completely, Sharon jumped up, standing at attention like a soldier. The group of children could only see a woman walking in front of them. Naruko. How beautiful she is. Jamae. Again with your Yuri fetishes. Naruko. Blushes Jamae knee. In her head, Naruko could only hear the laughter of the 7 tails. The group watched as Toya and Yukito bowed to the woman, who returned the gesture. They were observing the scene when they heard the girl say mother. This surprised a group of children, except for Myling and Sharon. Sakura. Huh. Mother. The woman sees them and walks towards them while they continue talking about the woman. Tomoyo. She looks really young. Sakura. Nodding yeah. Kiro. From inside Sakura's backpack, she looks like the headmistress of these crazy kids. Sakura. Annoyed Kiro. But you can see how Sharon was testing very nervous. Naruto. He's not denying it. Sakura. Yes. Then they see the woman arrive and bow, which the children return. Sakura. Returning the bow it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Sakura Kinomoto. Thank you for lending us these wonderful clothes. Then she felt a hand take her chin. She saw the woman lean forward, making Sakura look at her. Woman. I sense a great power. You possess claw cards, don't you? Then she sees Sakura's backpack. Meanwhile, the girl was nervous when she felt something in her hand. When she looked, she saw it was Naruto, who was supporting her. Seeing this, she smiled and then nodded to the woman. Woman. With great power comes great trouble especially in Hong Kong. That surprised Sakura. The woman stood up to speak to them. Woman. Spend the night here. This surprised Sharon, causing the sisters of the man in question to begin cheering. The woman looked at Sharon, who lowered his head. Woman. Sharon. The boy was nervous. Woman. Show me the report card. Time skip. Now Sakura, Tomoyo, Naruto, Naruko and Kiro were seen in a room preparing to sleep. Kiro. For some reason, today has been a very stressful day. Tomoyo sees her friends. Tomoyo. Her mother is gorgeous, isn't she? Naruko. Yes, she's beautiful. Naruto. Although she also has an air of mystery about her. Sakura. That's true. Kiro. That woman has tremendous power. You can tell she's a descendant of Chloride. The Clo family, through the maternal line, was renowned in China for its illustrious magicians. Tomoyo. The magician Clo was very famous, wasn't he? Kiro. Probably the most powerful of that era. But he was a bit eccentric, so he had many enemies. Naruto. I see. Without anyone noticing, Naruto glanced outside. After that, they turned off the lights and went to bed. Tomoyo. If I'd known this would happen, I would have brought the suit with me. Looks at Sakura when we get back to the hotel, you have to try it on, okay? Sakura. Oh okay. Tomoyo. And then, I'll film you flying through the streets of Hong Kong. That made his friend sweat a little. Hero. Record me too. That's how he falls asleep, making his friends laugh. Sakura. Good evening, Tomoyo, Naruto, Naruko. Tomoyo Naruto Naruko. Good evening. With that, everyone fell asleep except Sakura, who was thinking. Sakura. Woman. With great power comes trouble, especially in Hong Kong. Then Sakura falls asleep. Somewhere. It was a dark place with pillars everywhere and Sakura was standing there sipping water. Suddenly, the girl opened her eyes to look around. Sakura. Again this dream. Then he sees some bandanas, then turns up to see the silhouette of a woman. Sakura. Who are you? The woman said nothing. Sakura. Who are you? Again, the woman said nothing. Sakura just watched, then saw a bandana and grabbed it, making the woman laugh. Woman. I've been waiting for you all this time. That caught Sakura's attention, and then the bandana wrapped around Sakura's arm, scaring her. Woman. I've been waiting for you all this time. Sakura desperately tried to remove the bandage. Woman. I've been waiting for a long time just for you. With that, and with the help of the other band, Sakura is lifted up until she is standing in front of the woman. Woman. A long time ago only you. Sakura was terrified and tried to break free as the woman drew closer. Just as she was about to grab her, Sakura began to scream. In the room. Sakura could be seen screaming, waking everyone up. Seeing her scream, Naruto grabbed her in his arms. Naruto. What's wrong, Sakura? Sakura. At that moment Sakura woke up as the others turned on the lights. Naruto. Worried, are you okay? Sakura just stared blankly ahead. Sakura. A dream. Then he feels something on his arm. Rolling up his sleeve, he sees a mark on his wrist, which he instantly recognizes. Seeing this, everyone becomes worried, but Naruto and Kiro become serious. Naruto. This wasn't just any dream. Then they hear someone knocking on the door, causing Kiro to hide. Sakura. Why yes. Then the door opens, followed by the curtain, revealing that it was Sharon's mother. Time skip. Now, 3 figures could be seen outside in the courtyard of the Lee house. These figures were Sakura, Naruto, and Sharon's mother, Yelin Lee. The woman stood in front of Sakura and Naruto stood beside the girl, protecting her. Then, the woman extended something, a Chinese fan which she held horizontally. Yelin. Jade Emperor, please answer. The fan begins to shine. Yelin. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, lightning, wind, please answer. Naruto. Kinzoten, Mokuten, Suiten, Kaiten, Doten, Raiten, Futen, interesting. Yelin. Jade Emperor, please answer, God of lightning and wind, I ask you. Answer my question through this compass, God of lightning. Answer immediately. Then, below Naruto and Sakura, the symbol of Sharon's board appeared, accompanied by a glow. As the glow faded, the 2 children could be seen inside a dome with bright points floating around them. Yelin. To Sakura, you've come to Hong Kong because someone called you. Sakura. From whom? The dots disappear, leaving only one larger, red dot. Yelin. From the woman of your dreams. That surprises Sakura. Yelin. Be careful. A danger greater than any you've faced before is approaching. Sakura. And what should I do? Yelin. Only you know what you must do. Those with great power are susceptible to being tempted by evil. Naruto. That explains how I almost fell into route he, but in the end it backfired on them. Yelin. Especially you too, to Sakura you for being the possessor of the cards created by Chloe Reed, to Naruto you for harboring 2 beings within you, and for the object you have on your wrist. The EO surprised both of them, but especially Naruto, who decided to remain serious about the situation. He had already experienced it once and would not do it again. Yelin. To Sakura, that's why they call you great powers of evil. Sakura touches her chest in a sign of concern. Yelin. However, there must also be some way to solve it. The bright spots reappear. Yelin. The evil that calls to you is within a dream. And the help you require is also within a dream. This worried Sakura, while Naruto simply took the girl's hand, telling her he was with her, which made her smile. With that, the sparkles, the dome, and the symbol disappeared, and then Yelin approached them both, especially Sakura. Standing before them, she knelt down to look at them and took Sakura's cheek in her hand, making her look at her. Now that she had her attention, Yelin smiled slightly. Yelin. Don't worry. I know you'll be able to find the solution. Sakura smiled slightly as she tightened her grip on Naruto's hand. Yelin. Sees Naruto help her, even though I know she's capable, but I also know she'll need it. Naruto. Smiled slightly, she shouldn't say that. Sakura smiled a little more as she blushed slightly, grateful to have Naruto with her. Yellen noticed the slight blush and realized how close the two were. In the morning. Sharon's group of sisters, whose names were Fanrin Lee, Fuity Lee, Shifa Lee, and Feimei Lee, were complaining and talking to Toya and Yukido. Fanrin Fuity Shifa Feimei. Hugging Toya and Yukido. No, are you leaving already? Don't go. Stay a little longer. Stay forever. That was seen by Tomoyo, Naruko, Myling, and Sharon. Myling. So it's true you slept here last night. Tomoyo. Yes. Myling. Pouting. I would have liked to stay too. Tomoyo giggles a little when Sharon hears footsteps. Looking out of the corner of her eye, she notices Naruto and Sakura leaving with Yellen. Sakura. Well, thank you very much for everything. Yellen simply placed her hands on each of their cheeks and smiled slightly. Sharon watched, surprised to see his mother smile as Tomoyo filmed the scene. Toya. Hey, we have to go now. Sakura. We're coming. Sakura watches Yellen while Naruto watches out of the corner of his eye. Yellen. To Sakura. Be careful with the water. Sakura. With the water. Time skip. Now the group of 6 was seen accompanied by Myling and Sharon. Myling. That thing over there that looks like a knife is the Bank of China, and the building with a roof that looks like a giant cannon is HSBC. This is the economic center of Hong Kong. The two banks are rivals. Yukido. Wow. Hero. From Sakura's backpack. Just as I feared, you didn't come to Hong Kong by chance. Sakura. Does that mean the person from my dream is also responsible for us winning the prize? Tomoyo. Do you think someone is capable of something like that? Hero. I don't know. But, if so, why Sakura? Time skip. The group could now be seen looking at some memories, but Sharon and Myling were far away from them. Myling. Why do we have to go with them? Sharon. What can I do? Mom ordered me to. Myling. Did she ask you to be a tour guide? Sharon. It's not that. Myling. Then what? Sharon. Glances at Sakura. Looks like some kind of danger is approaching. But Sakura. She was checking the items when she found a cherry blossom-shaped brooch. Sakura. How beautiful. Now that I think about it, the woman in my dream, she also wore a hair ornament. It's very beautiful. Upon hearing the voice, he turns to look at Naruto. Sakura. Gives her the brooch here. Naruto takes it to look at it and takes it away, confusing Sakura, who only overhears. Naruto. I'll take this one. Sakura. Surprised, huh? But no, I am Naruto. Naruto simply gives the brooch to Sakura, who has a slight blush. Naruto. Here. Sakura looked at Naruto, who had a smile on his face. Naruto. I'm sure it will look great on you. Sakura was surprised and blushed by her friend's actions, but still, so as not to look bad, she took the brooch in her hands and smiled at him. Sakura. Thank you very much. Naruto just smiled and left while Sakura looked at the brooch. But Sharon and Myling. Myling was watching something while Sharon, from afar, observed the interaction between Naruto and Sakura, feeling somewhat jealous without knowing why. Then Myling noticed Sharon's behavior. Myling. What's wrong? Sharon. Nothing. Suddenly, he calmed down as he sensed something, but he wasn't the only one. Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko felt it too. The 4 of them turned and went outside to see 2 birds watching them. Upon being discovered, the birds flew away, trying to escape. Seeing this, Sakura ran off, followed by Naruto, Naruko, Sharon, and Tomoyo. Seeing this, Myling, Toya, and Yukido also ran. Toya. Annoyed guys. Those idiots. But Sakura. She was running when she pulled out her key as she entered an alley. Once inside, she transformed her key into a staff and then used a card. But the rest. They were running when they saw where Sakura had gone. When they arrived, they realized she wasn't there, so Sharon, Naruto, and Naruko split up to look for her. Toya. Damn it. But Sakura. She had fallen off a fence thanks to the jump and then continued running. Sakura. Kiro, you can leave without any problems. The named one comes out of Sakura's backpack to start following her. Kiro. I sense the presence of something evil, and it's very strange. Sakura. Yes. With that, they continue running until they reach a ruined house, still following the birds. Kiro. Looking at the birds, are those the birds that appeared in your dream? Sakura. Yes. Kiro. Those birds aren't normal. Be careful, they have incredible magical power. With that, they continued running until they saw the birds enter an abandoned temple. Upon reaching the temple, they both stopped running, flying, and stood in front of it. Sakura. Do you think they want us to go in? Kiro. It seems so. Still nervous and scared, Sakura enters the temple, noticing that it looks more like a shop. Once inside, she and Kiro begin searching until they stop at a particular spot. Kiro. It seems like there's no one here. Sakura. Yes. At that moment, Sakura turns her gaze away. Kiro. Is something wrong? Sakura. It's the sound of water. Upon closer inspection, they saw it was an object on a table. But the strange thing was that they could hear water droplets falling. Hiro. Yes, that's true. They both cautiously approach the source of the sound. Upon arriving, they see an old book. Hiro. It comes from that book. Hiro blew to remove the dust, but there was so much that it made him cough. Meanwhile, Sakura was looking at the book cover and noticed a well with the silhouette of a woman sitting in it. This surprised Sakura. Sakura. This woman is. At that moment, the woman on the cover turns her head, surprising Kiro, but even more so when he sees Sakura extend her hands towards the book to pick it up. Kiro. Hey Sakura, what? But it doesn't end there, because he saw Sakura's eyes glow a pale green, while the girl's gaze seemed lost. Come to me. Sakura was starting to remove some papers that were preventing the book from being opened. Seeing this, Kiro quickly approached to stop Sakura from removing the papers. Kiro. Come back to yourself. Sakura. Come here. Kiro continued to exert pressure while Sakura tried to remove the paper. Come here again. There is no choice. Kiro kept trying to stop Sakura, but he was running out of strength. Kiro. I can't help her. Kiro was about to bite Sakura when the door of the shop opened. Sakura. This frightened Kiro, causing him to let go of Sakura and hide. At that moment, Toya, Yukito, and Naruto appeared on the scene. Toya. Walking towards Sakura. We've been looking everywhere for you. Sakura starts to turn around. Naruto. This presence. Sakura kept spinning around without saying anything until she was almost face to face with him. Toya. Sakura. Then Myling, Tomoyo, Naruko, and Sharon entered the scene. As they all turn around, they see Sakura staring blankly ahead as she suddenly opens her book, creating a flickering light and a gust of wind. Seeing this, Naruto rushes towards her, grabs her shoulders, and makes her drop the book. Naruto. Sakura, what's wrong? Tell me. As the light and wind dissipated, Sakura came to her senses when water began to flow from the book. There was so much of it that it was flooding the place. Tomoyo. What is this? Then the water continued to rise, submerging everyone. Sakura had her eyes closed, then realized she could breathe again and that no one was around her, so she would have thought if it weren't for Grey Matter standing beside her, who transformed into Naruto. Seeing Naruto holding his breath worried her. But then she watched as Naruto began to turn the dial on the Omnitrix until he found the silhouette he was looking for. Once it's ready, press the dial, generating a green light. Imagine it's Naruto. As it dissipated, a fish-like creature with a tail could be seen. Sakura was surprised to see Ripjaws again, who took her hand. Despite knowing his hand felt scaly, she was pleased because she knew it was her friend. Then they both watched as the entire atmosphere changed, leaving them both surprised and bewildered. Ripjaws. Let's go up. Sakura felt a surge of strength to cling to Ripjaw's hand as he began to swim upwards. Upon reaching the surface, Sakura gasped for air while Ripjaws watched her. Suddenly, Sakura's backpack burst open, releasing water and Kiro, who was also gasping for air. Kiro then flew to stand in front of Sakura and Ripjaws. Kiro. Are you alright? Sakura. Kiro. Kiro. You're back to normal. Sakura. We're inside the dream. It's not a dream. Upon hearing that, the three turned to look toward the voice, but there was nothing there. Or so they would have said, had it not been for the sudden appearance of a woman's silhouette. The birds from before approached the woman, and upon landing on her hands, they transformed into Vandas. Woman. This is the world I created with my magic. Although I am surprised to see a child here who possesses no magic. Ripjaws, along with Sakura and Kiro, go to a safe place by turning Ripjaw's tail into legs. Once they were in a safe place, Ripjaws transformed into Naruto so that the three of them could see the woman's appearance. Woman. Why aren't you him? Kiro. Are you from that book? Woman. Annoyed, why is it a girl instead of him? Then the water begins to move violently and then rises. Woman. Annoyed, answer me. Naruto. Sakura. Sakura. Nods yes. Sakura takes out a claw card to throw it and then hits it with her staff. Sakura. The fly. Woman. Surprise claw card. With that, he begins to fly with Naruto on the back of the staff and Kiro flying alongside them. Woman. Annoyed, why do you have the claw cards? With that, he begins to attack with water, causing Naruto to perform rapid hand seals. Naruto. Water dragon style. With that, and while Sakura dodged, Naruto attacked with a dragon made of the surrounding water, causing it to collide with the woman's attack and make both attacks disappear. Seeing this, the woman was surprised but recovered. Woman. That won't do any good. With that, he attacks again, forcing Sakura to dodge while Naruto struggles to hold on. At one point, they reach the bottom, almost touching the water, as he receives more attacks. Seeing this, Naruto quickly forms hand seals. Naruto. Eteritan Ether Dragon. With that, she extends her hand, on which runes appear. When they converge, she unleashes a dragon that seems to oscillate between liquid, solid, and gaseous states. Seeing the attack, the woman counters with a water attack. But that was her mistake. In doing so, the jutsu absorbs the water and transforms into a combination of water-related elements. Seeing this, the woman defends herself with a water barrier that is a 10% strength. This further enrages the woman, so she launches more attacks. The children try to dodge the attacks as best they can, the blows nearly grazing them. Sakura. That woman knows something about the claw cards. Naruto. Looking ahead. Sakura, ahead of you. Upon seeing this, he narrowly dodged a structure and continued to evade attacks from the woman, who appeared annoyed. At one point, an attack was about to hit them when the freeze. But that said, the attack that was heading towards them froze just inches from the children, who then ran past. Seeing this, the woman turned to look towards where the voice had come from. Woman. Claw card. Upon closer inspection, he realized it was Sharon, who had used the freeze card. Those on the staff had also turned to look at the boy. Naruto. Sakura. Lee. They also approached each other while the woman watched. Woman. She also has claw cards. Meanwhile, the children had already arrived with Sharon. Sakura. How did you get here? Sharon. After we were swallowed by the water, when I came out, I found myself here. Sakura. So, all of us who were there. Sharon. They must be somewhere. Naruto. We should go look for them. Woman. You don't need to look. The three of them see her. Woman. The other people who were with you extends her arms. They're here. But that said, they saw 5 spheres emerge from the water, revealing Tomoyo, Myling, Toya, Yukido, and Naruko, who appeared to be asleep. The three were surprised to see them. Woman. I want you to know that I called Chloe. But why? Hero. Looking at the woman. That woman somewhere. Woman. Where's Chloe? Naruto. Go upstairs. Sakura sees it. Naruto. We'll hold her off while you try to save them. Activates the tailed beast cloak, a fusion of the Kyuubi and Nibi cloaks. I won't forgive what she did to my little sister. Sakura. Hesitantly. Oh okay. Woman. Annoyed. Where is Chloe? With that, he begins to attack with water. Naruto. Now. Sakura. Sharon. Yes. They split up, confusing the woman. As Sharon approached, Naruto moved closer at an astonishing speed, preparing a jutsu. Once ready, Sharon was beneath the woman, ready to use a card. Sharon. Using the card to storm. Naruto. Casting the jutsu Ranten Raisen Shuriken. With that, both Sharon and Naruto launch their attacks, which, when combined, become one. Naruto. Sharon. Double storm Kumaya's Raisen Shuriken. With that, the attack strikes the woman directly as she disappears. Seeing this, the woman gives an arrogant smile. Grave mistake. The moment she sees Naruto and Sharon, she sees them both close their hands. As they do so, 2 tornadoes form from the storm, one to the right and the other to the left, unleashing a few lightning bolts that damage the woman. But Sakura. She had gone all the way to where the spheres were to draw a card. Sakura. Striking the card with the tip of her staff, the sword. But that, his staff transforms into a sword, slashing horizontally and destroying the spheres that held Naruto and Tomoyo, revealing that the spheres were made of water. Seeing this, he draws another card. Sakura. The fly. The staff sprouts wings which it extends. Sakura. Kiro. It didn't take 2 words before Kiro began carrying the newly freed girls and placing and arranging them on the staff. Sakura. Looking at the others, Myling, brother, Yukido. Please wait for me. I'll be back. Then she felt something, or rather, someone, on her back. Looking down, she saw her unconscious friends leaning against her back. Kiro. Sakura. Fast. Sakura. Yes. With that, he flies away as Sharon arrives on the scene. Upon arriving, he tries to break the sphere that is holding Myling, but he can't. Sharon. Frustrated. This isn't right. But Sakura. She was flying when she heard a noise. Turning around, she saw Kiro looking at Naruto and Tomoyo. Kiro. They're waking up, Naruto, Tomoyo. Sakura. That's great. Then they reach a pillar so that Sakura can leave her friends to safety. Tomoyo. How? Where am I? Kiro. We'll save the others later. Sakura. Yes. Then they hear a moan and a noise. Turning around, they see Naruto holding on, preventing the combined effect of his and Sharon's attack from continuing, while the woman inside the attack does whatever it takes to get out. Woman. I won't forgive them. The attack suddenly disappears. I won't forgive them. The sudden disappearance of the attack causes Naruto to collapse to the ground, exhausted. Then the water becomes more violent, engulfing both Naruto and Sharon. Seeing this, Sakura becomes worried about them both, especially Naruto. Sakura. Kiro, stay here. With that, and still using the effect of the fly, he goes to the rescue of his companion's friend. Hero. Sakura, don't go. But Sakura. She was heading towards the water to save both children. Sakura. Lee. Naruto. Arrives Lee, Naruto, please answer me. Run away. Looking towards where the voice was coming from, he saw Naruto standing on one of the pillars next to Sharon, who was holding on with his sword. Both of them looked somewhat weak. Naruto. You must escape from here. But Sakura ignored them and began to approach, only to be held back by several pillars of water that suddenly erupted. Even so, Sakura couldn't get any closer. Naruto. Run, even if only you two survive. Sakura. But. Dodge a pillar of water. Sharon. The magic is weaker there. Naruto. That means if you fly there, you won't be able to get out. Woman. Silence. Then a tornado of water swirls around both of them. Sakura. Lee. Naruto. As the tornado dissipated, Sharon was seen unconscious in the same position, but Naruto was also seen struggling to avoid being knocked unconscious. Sakura witnessed this while listening to the woman's laughter. Woman. If Reed doesn't come, I'll drain your energy and use it to find him myself. You'll give me your energy too. But before she can make a move, she's struck by something that sends her flying, though she recovers mid-air. Seeing what it is, she realizes it's a strange creature. Creature. Give them back. Nobody understood. Creature. Give us back our brothers. With that, the creature began attacking the woman, who defended herself with water. Meanwhile, Sakura recognized the voice. It was Naruto and Shime's voices combined. Just then, Kiro appeared beside her. Kiro. Sakura, we must escape as soon as possible, Naruto and Shime said they'll take care of it. Naruto, bubble. Escape Sakura. With that, he continues attacking the bubble using kunai infused with earth release chakra. Kiro. If we stay here, she'll catch us. Sakura. Sakura starts crying and begins to leave, taking Tomoyo with her. Seeing this, the woman also begins to attack Sakura. Woman. You won't escape. With that, he attacks with more force, while Sakura does her best to escape by flying upwards with her strength. Kiro. That's the way out. With that, Sakura continues to rise to see how they were about to be reached by the water, making her rise with more force until she passes through a white screen as the attack collided and dissipated. But the woman had already managed to catch Naruto, only to stare in the direction Sakura, Tomoyo, and Kiro had gone. She looked annoyed. In the temple. The place was completely empty when a bright light began to appear, flickering. Then the light disappeared, revealing Sakura and her two companions. Once on the ground, Tomoyo stood staring at Sakura, whose eyes were darkened. Seeing this, Kiro approached her. Tomoyo. Worried Sakura. Sakura. Because of me everyone. Kiro. Sakura, it wasn't your fault, it was the woman in the book's fault. Sakura looks up as she realizes something. Sakura. Book. Turns around the book. Kiro. Turns around now that you mention it. They both approach each other, watched by Tomoyo. Sakura. Searching for the book. You probably don't know this, Tomoyo, but the place we went was inside that book. Tomoyo. Okay, if we were inside that book then what kind of book is it? Kiro. If I remember correctly an old one with a strange presence notices something the presence is gone. Sakura. I can't find it. It's nowhere to be found. Kiro. Worried Sakura. Sakura stood with her head down, her back to them, but if they looked closely, they would see that the girl was crying. Sakura. Crying Lee Myling brother Yukito Naruto. Kiro. Calm down, we're going to rescue them. However, we must find out more about that sorceress. Ah. That woman. I remember now. That catches the attention of both girls. Is anyone there? Please wait a moment, I'll be right down. That scares the trio. Tomoyo. Someone's coming. Kiro. Let's get out of here for now. Sakura. Why yes. But that they move quickly while someone is getting off. Miss, are you Japanese? Can I help you with anything? At that moment, the person finished getting out, revealing an elderly gentleman who hadn't seen anyone elsewhere. The trio could be seen in their hotel room. Kiro. A long time ago, that woman was a fortune teller here in Hong Kong. Sakura. A fortune teller? Kiro. That's right. If I remember correctly, I think she did water divination. She made various things appear on the surface of the water. She gained a good reputation, but. Sakura. But. Kiro. One day, Reed arrived. Wasn't a fortune teller per se. But the predictions he made in his spare time were very accurate, so that woman's business plummeted. Tomoyo. Oh. Kiro. After that, she started challenging at every opportunity. Tomoyo. But, if she belongs to such a distant past, how is she still here? Kiro. Because of her magic. Sakura. Her magic. Hero. After she died, she transferred all her hatred into that book. It's incredibly difficult to maintain that magic for decades, and it requires extraordinary willpower. I bet she hasn't even realized she's dead. That woman must hate clothes so much. Sakura. So what did she hope to do with that magic? Hero. She probably wanted to trap Chloe inside that book. Tomoyo. So Sakura was pulled into the book because she has the Chloe cards. Sakura. But how am I supposed to get back inside the book? If I don't hurry, everyone. Hero. That dimension must have an entrance somewhere, but the presence has already disappeared from the shop. Sakura. The book has disappeared too. Still worried, she thinks for a long time. The book, I know the cover of that book. That caught Kiro's attention. Sakura. I know where he lived, I can see it well. Sakura just smiles. Hero. Have you thought of anything, Sakura? Sakura. Yes. I know where the entrance is. We passed by there yesterday. Tomoyo. That means you can go where everyone is. Sakura. Yes. Hero. Great. It's time for Sakura Cardcaptor. Sakura. Yes. Tomoyo. Wearing a costume with stars for eyes, then it's your turn to put on the costume. Sakura fell comically while a drop of sweat appeared on Kiro's face. Time skip. It was already night and Sakura was seen arriving at an old well with Tomoyo and Kiro while wearing a different outfit. While on the ground, the trio sees the well. Kyo. Is this it? Sakura. Yes. Kiro. Definitely, I feel a life force, like electricity in the air. Sakura. Electricity? Kiro nods. Sakura. I hope Naruto or Naruko have already escaped and are using the Denkiton element. With that, she begins to approach the well slowly but steadily. Just as they are about to enter, they see a dome appear. Upon seeing this, Sakura strikes a wall with her staff to check that it has no effect. Sakura. What's happening? Kiro. It's a barrier. Sakura. A barrier? Kiro. There's a very powerful barrier around the well. Tomoyo. What do we do? Kiro. I hate to admit it, but with your current power, there's nothing we can do. Sakura became worried upon hearing that and went to look at the well. Sakura. It can't be. At that moment, Kiro turns away, catching Tomoyo's attention. Tomoyo. What's wrong? Kiro. Someone's coming. Then they saw a figure approaching them. Seeing this, Tomoyo hid Kiro and the bow Sakura had on the back of her outfit. The two girls watched as the figure drew closer, eventually revealing itself to be Yellen. Sakura. Surprised it's Lee's mom. But that, Yellen approaches them. Yellen. Move aside. The girls listen to the woman. Sakura. How is this? Yellen. Raises her fan. Sharon's life force was interrupted. Sakura. Dejected. That's because I. Yellen. No, you're not to blame. Sakura sees her. Yellen. I simply wasn't up to that level of power. With that, he concentrated his power, making his fan glow, and then touched the barrier, applying pressure. Kiro saw this and decided to peek his head out. Kiro. What powerful magic. With that, Yellen increases the pressure, managing to open a gap that astonishes those present. At that moment, they feel the atmosphere become more electric. Sakura. Denkiton, they're definitely fighting. Yellen. Go, I can feel your friend fighting. Sakura. Why yes. Sees Tomoyo. Tomoyo, wait here. With that, Sakura enters. Tomoyo. Looking at Sakura. Be careful. Sakura. Yes. Looks directly at Tomoyo. It's very easy to move around in this suit. Tomoyo. It's completely waterproof, so you won't have any problems in the water. With that, Sakura enters the well as the barrier closes, leaving an exhausted Yellen being held by Tomoyo. But Sakura. The girl was falling, but it seemed as if she was sinking into the water. Sakura. What place is this? Kiro decides to go out and appear in front of her. Kiro. It's the dimensional tunnel. Look around you. Sakura obeys, seeing dimensions wherein one there was a type of red and blue suit, another with a similar type, but instead of red it was black, one with a black-haired boy in a black suit with two swords, another with a skeleton in a blue jacket. It doesn't matter, there were several dimensions that she managed to see. Kiro. This is connected to all kinds of dimensions. If you get lost, you'll be trapped here forever. Sakura. What do I have to do? Kiro. That's easy. If you concentrate and are determined to go, we'll definitely get there. Upon hearing that, Sakura began to concentrate with all her might on going to where her friends were. And as Kiro said, and Sakura did, a sign lit up, allowing them both to pass through and enter the place. When they arrived, they saw that the place was different. Sakura. Looking around, this isn't it. Now, how are we going to get out of here? Kiro. No, this presence. Then they saw the birds fly away. Seeing this, they both started chasing them. They kept running until they reached a place that was very familiar to both of them. Sakura. Bird Street. Hiro. Look closely, we're not really going there, let's go. Sakura. Yes. With that, they started running again, passing through corridors and streets that made the route like a labyrinth. Hiro. The presence grows stronger. Then they see electrical discharges appear. Sakura. Running and the Denkaton too. Hiro. That means we're close. With that they continued running until they reached a large grey door from which electricity could be seen protruding. Sakura. It comes from here, there's no doubt about it. With that, Sakura opened the door to reveal a water barrier that appeared to be crackling with electricity. This surprised and startled Sakura. Hiro. Sakura. The woman nods and with determination enters the water with Kiro. Once in the water, she sees that the electrified water has no effect on her, so they decide to swim upwards. On the surface. The woman was seen floating, watching Naruto, who had a few scratches and looked tired. Just then, Sakura arrived. Naruto. Sakura. What are you doing here? Sakura. I came to help, I won't stand idly by. With that, the children and Kiro looked at the woman seriously and she looked at them with the same seriousness. Woman. It's you again. Your friend has caused me a lot of trouble. Why have you come back? Sakura. I came so you could give me back my friends. Woman. If you want me to free them, bring me chloride. Kiro. We can't do that anymore. And you know it. Woman. I've always waited for Chloe's return all this time. Naruto. Somewhat annoyed we're not interested in your life story. You hear me? Sakura. She. Then a great tremor is felt, drawing the attention of the trio. Kiro. What's wrong? Then they saw everything begin to collapse, followed by 5 spheres of water floating above the woman. Once they reached her, the spheres shrank to points of light, which the woman absorbed, causing her power to increase. This left Naruto in shock. Sakura. Guys. Woman. Annoyed that's my final word, where's Chloe? Hiro. Didn't you hear? He's not here anymore. Woman. Then this is going to be the end for you. But before he can do anything, he's punched in the stomach, gasping for air as blood and saliva pour from his mouth. Looking at his attacker, he sees a creature on all 4s with 6 tails, protruding bones tinged with blue pigmentation, and red eyes. The creature glared at the woman with pure hatred. No. The hatred emanating from the creature was immense, so much so that it terrified the woman. Then, the creature generated a sphere of energy, both positive and negative. This sphere was the signature attack of the tailed beasts, known as the Bijidama. Once the Bijidama was ready, the creature launched it at the woman, who, seeing this, did the most logical thing. She enveloped herself in red energy to vanish, causing the Bijidama to crash into a wall. The impact caused the building to begin collapsing. Outside the barrier. Tomoyo looked worried about her friends and was hugged by Yellen. Suddenly, tremors shook the barrier, causing it to collapse. An explosion then erupted, creating a pillar of red light that destroyed the passageway. After a few seconds, the pillar vanished. Above the city. A sphere of green light could be seen, which, when it dissipated, revealed the woman. Woman. That was close. Then he decides to see the city and is very surprised. Woman. This is. Of Tomoyo and Yellen. The woman could still be seen hugging the little girl, who decided to pull away slightly. When she turned around, she saw that the well was destroyed. With Sakura, Kiro and Naruto. The calmer Naruto could be seen being hugged by Sakura. Just then, they saw more rubble begin to fall. Kiro. Sakura. The girl nods to take out her key. Sakura. Key that holds the power of darkness, show your true form before Sakura, who accepted the mission with you, extending her hand's release. With that, the key transforms into a staff, which Sakura takes. Once she has it in her hands, Sakura draws a card. Sakura. Hitting the card to fly. Outside the hole. Tomoyo looked worried. Tomoyo. Sakura. Yellen. Don't worry, she'll come back. And sure enough, Sakura flew out of the hole while Naruto sat behind her. Seeing them, Tomoyo smiled happily. In the sky. Now outside the place, Sakura and company began to look for the woman. Sakura. Where is it? Kiro. Upstairs. With that, they turn around to see the woman begin attacking them with water, causing Sakura to dodge with some difficulty. Woman. Bracing for a fit where you dared to hide Chloe. The woman attacks the children again, who dodge with difficulty. Sakura. Chloe is no longer here. They continued to receive attacks, which they dodged with difficulty. Seeing this, Naruto quickly formed hand seals. Naruto. Yort and Night Dragon. Suddenly, a dragon appears and attacks the woman, who barely manages to dodge. Seeing this, the woman attacks again with even more force, making it difficult for the children to dodge. Naruto. Sakura, I hate to say this, but we can't keep running away from her. Sakura. But they. They are then caught by the woman's bandages and pulled, causing Kiro to be thrown in another direction. With both children trapped, the woman heads towards a building under construction. Once there, the woman stares seriously at the two children. Woman. Serious, you're lying. Tell me where Chloe is hiding right now. Sakura. He's not here anymore. Naruto. He won't be coming back. Woman. Angry, you're lying. Sakura. It's true, he died a long time ago. Woman. Angry, you're lying. That left Sakura speechless. Woman. Impossible, he couldn't have died, he's the magician Chloe. Then the children hear something. Turning around, they see the water begin to swirl as it starts to levitate. Looking ahead, they see the water begin to reappear behind the woman. Woman. The magician clown. The children try to break free from the grip of the bandages, but they cannot. Woman. He can't be dead. With that, the water poured over the children as a red barrier appeared, preventing the water from spilling out. The woman just watched. Woman. I've always waited for you always. At that moment the water stopped falling, revealing that the woman had the girls tied up underwater. Woman. With all my power, I call to Chloe, no matter how much has happened, no matter my dedication. Then a drop falls into the water. Underwater. Sakura and Naruto could be seen tied together, but doing something they could only do in that situation. Their lips were pressed together, and they were passing air to each other to conserve their breath. Even with their lips still pressed together, they tried to free themselves when they noticed something. Glancing at the corner of their eyes, they saw a small glowing point, which revealed something to them. There's no reason to accept that. Today's your birthday, right? That surprised. Leaving, I'll give you this, if you don't want it, throw it away. What a given to was a brooch that looked like peacock feathers with wings at the bottom. As the images finished, they disappeared along with the dot, leaving both children surprised, their lips already parted. Sakura then looked up. Sakura. I knew it, she's. With that, she tries to break free with Naruto's help, who is using his teeth, but without much success. Naruto manages to reach the Omnitrix to use it. Just as he's about to do so, they notice the woman is gone, and then the top part of the Omnitrix begins to glow. Water must flow freely. They didn't know how, but they had both managed to hear a voice. Sakura, Naruto. Water, it must flow. The children had already sunk when they finally understood the message. With Naruto's help, Sakura manages to retrieve the card and strike it with her staff. Sakura. The arrow. That activates the card, causing something to go directly to the surface. On the surface. The woman was simply gazing at the water when something emerged from it. Turning her head, she realized it was the arrow, which had her in its sights. Or so she thought. The card fired, but not at the woman. Instead, it struck the bandages. The bandages, upon feeling the impact of the multiplied arrows, shattered. But it didn't end there. The arrows reached the ground beneath the water, breaking through and causing the water to rush out, freeing the two children. Seeing this, the woman searched for them with her eyes, but couldn't find them until she felt something behind her. Turning, she saw Sakura and Naruto arriving, Sakura thanks to the jump and Naruto thanks to his ninja skills. Woman. You. They both begin to approach, with Naruto on high alert to protect his friend. The woman is slightly surprised to see them coming. When they are close enough, they both stop, allowing the woman to see Sakura's face, which is etched with sadness and worry, and Naruto's, which, despite his serious demeanor, also shows a hint of sadness. Sakura. Really, you liked Chloe a lot. The woman said nothing while Sakura sobbed. Naruto. I see, it's very sad that the person you love is leaving, it must really hurt. Still sobbing, Sakura clings to Naruto, who hugs her. Woman. So Chloe, is he dead? Naruto. That's right, Madoushi. That surprised the now named Madoushi. Madoushi? How? Naruto. How do I know? Well, it took me a while to find out, and I did some research. I'm sorry for your loss. Madoushi closed his eyes slightly. Madoushi. All this time I've waited. Then something catches the attention of both children. When they turn around, they see that Madoushi is dissolving into water. Madoushi. For so long, so long. Both children could only watch her dissolve further into drops of water. Madoushi. I wanted to tell you something. With that, Madoushi disappears into the water before the children's eyes. Then they both notice something on the ground. Upon closer inspection, they see that it's the brooch Madoushi was wearing, which appears rusted from the moisture. Sakura approaches, picks up the brooch, and examines it. Naruto. Looking at the brooch, water must flow freely. A simple phrase, but with a great hidden message. Sakura. That's right, do you think that voice was Chloe's? Naruto. I'm not sure. Just then, the brooch crumbles before the children's eyes as something begins to appear in front of them. When they see what it is, they are surprised to realize it's those who were kidnapped by Madoushi. This makes them both happy. Sakura. Lee, Myling, Naruko, brother, Yukito. Sakura shed a tear of happiness while Naruto looked up at the sky with a smile. Time skip. It was another day, and now the original group from Tomoda was seen on a tourist boat. But we'll focus on Toya and Yukito. They were both talking, though one of them had a book in his hand. Toya. What memory would be best for my father? Yukito. How about tea? Toya. Tea. But Sakura and Naruto. They were both standing together, looking out the window. We'll be in Japan tomorrow. When they turned around they saw that it was Tomoyo, who was next to Naruto, and hidden was Kiro. Sakura. Ah. Yes. That caught the attention of her friends, except for Naruto, who already had an idea about what Sakura had. Kiro. Oh, it was quite a hassle coming here, especially after what happened yesterday. Naruto. That's not true. That catches the attention of all three of them. Sakura. That helped me realize that I want him to know about my feelings, to accept them. Naruto. She just wanted to talk to Chloe, she wanted to tell him. Naruto and Sakura unconsciously held hands. Naruto saw this and was happy, thinking that her brother was letting love back into his life, while also glancing at Tomoyo. Naruto. With a slight blush, is it true? Will I be able to tell Tomoyo that I like her? I don't know, I'll wait a little longer. Without saying anything, Tomoyo begins recording the scene of Sakura and Naruto. Tomoyo. It would be wonderful if we could go back to Hong Kong, wouldn't it? Naruto. Yes. With that, Naruto decided to take a picture of both of them, who were happy to have that travel experience. Elsewhere. The woman with red hair with white streaks could be seen looking at two photos of two children. Soon my children, soon we will be together again. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.